Sir, we are identifying and then allowing them to enter.
Great. Yeah.
Past times experience.
All right. Oh, okay. Since you made me host, I should not be tampering with that. I'll not. I'll leave to the organizers.
Sir, unfortunately, again, our admissions have been postponed again for 11th of this month, 11th of March. And there is a third round. It may go till April. I don't know when we are starting for first years here.
Exactly 12 months late.
Yes, sir, exactly 12 months late.
Sir, we are starting 2021 admissions in 21-22.
Sir, Maharashtra CET.
Okay.
Maharashtra CET, precisely 2021 admissions, we are starting in 21-22.
Yeah, because it is a entirely different phenomenon. I don't think anyone could take breather from this. It's all done in the interest of the student body, but they have to understand this. That's all.
True.
1 year is lost for everyone.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
And if they are able to survive, they must thank the stars.
You're right. True.
And we have not gone the way that European countries and US has gone.
Very true. We must be happy for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
But anyhow, the way that we are behaving, I don't know.
Yes.
Amrita ma'am, can we start?
Sure, sir. A very good morning to the Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dr. V. Vijay Kumar, sir, Vice Chancellor, NLIU Bhopal, respected President of the session, Professor Dr. J. M. Mallikarjunaiah, sir, Principal, KLE Law College, Bangalore, and Director, KLE Law Academy, Belagavi. Our respected Principal, Professor Dinkar Gitte, sir, dear colleagues, students, and participants from esteemed institutions of India. I, Dr. Amrita Singh, on behalf of KLE College of Law, Navi Mumbai, will be hosting today's inaugural session of the online national mediation competition. Joseph Brinbaum has very rightly said, an ounce of mediation is worth a pound of arbitration and a ton of litigation. Mitigation and reconciliation work is about a profound quest for justice and social transformation. But at the same time, they are about service, solidarity, and about rediscovering and exploring the human spirit that has been lost or shattered through human conflict, cruelty, ignorance, and greed. One has to understand that conflicts are inevitable, but combats can be avoided. As John F. Kennedy rightly puts it, let us never negotiate out of fear, but let us never fear to negotiate. With these words, I would like to request our respected principal, sir, to deliver the welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Amrita. First of all, I would like to welcome Dr. V. Vijay Kumar, sir, Vice Chancellor, NLIU Bhopal. To introduce him, sir was my teacher, in fact, in National Law School for the batch of 2009 and 11, and sir taught us various subjects, especially international humanitarian law, then law and social transformation. And if I have to speak about his personality, sir was to the point, and sir, in fact, started presentations for LLM batch. He was the person who took the initiative for starting presentations, and we were very fortunate under his guidance. We have learned so much about the presentation skills. So thank you for that, sir. Not only that, but also I would like to remember one incident with sir. When students are students, and when I had a long hair at that point of time, and when I met sir after a couple of years, I told to identify myself, sir, I am so student and I have long hair. But sir spontaneously said that we do not remember students by long hair, but we remember them by their academic excellence. And it was so good, and it touched my heart in a way that I remembered, okay, I was mistaken at that point of time. Sir, thank you very much for guiding us in National Law School. Whatever you have taught us has really helped us to benefit ourselves. Having said that, sir, thank you for accepting the invitation and giving your valuable time. Now, I would also like to thank Dr. Mallikarjunaiah, sir, who is our mentor and who is the president of KLE Law Academy and principal of KLE Law College, Bangalore, sir.
Amrita, are we there?
Yes, sir. I'll just check. There is some network issue at
Yeah.
present.
Festival, and sir was always guiding us with respect to how to arrange the competitions. I'm also thankful to all the national law universities who are participating, other esteemed universities across the country. Having said that, I am also thankful to our management, Dr. Prabhakar Koreji, who is the chairman of KLE Society, Shri Mahantesh Kavadigimat sir, who is a MLC and Chief Whip Government of Karnataka and Director KLE Belgavi. And definitely, as I already told about Mallikarjunaya sir, he's always with us. Having said that, without wasting much of a time, I think now I would like to hand over this session to Dr. Amrita. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. And before I give this session to our esteemed chief guest, it is my privilege and honor to introduce his honorable self to the audience. Sir has completed his graduation, post-graduation, and PhD from the prestigious University of Madras. Sir was appointed as Assistant Professor of Law in 1988, as Associate Professor in 1992, and as Professor of Law in 1997. Prior to joining NLSIU, Sir was teaching at the Presidency College, Madras. Sir was the Registrar of NLSIU between 2005 and 2008 and has also administered the UNHCR Chair on Refugee Law between April 1997 to April 2018. Sir was awarded Roichi Sasakawa Young Leaders Fellowship at the Salzburg Seminar in 1993. Sir was a visiting scholar with York University, Toronto, Canada, at its Center for Refugee Studies during 2000 to 2003, and was exchange visitor at National University of Singapore during 2004 to 2005 under the Asian Law Institute program. Sir visited USA in 1988 under the International Visitors Program of the USIS on the Living Constitution. Representing the law school, Sir was a member and vice chairperson of the Board of Governors of the Asian Law Institute located in Singapore National University till 2009. Sir was the Vice Chancellor of the Tamil Nadu Dr. Ambedkar Law University, Chennai, between 2010 and 2013. Sir was conferred the Amity Academic Excellence Award during 2011 and the Best Vice Chancellor's Award by the Indian Red Cross Society during 2012. Sir has published more than 47 articles in national and international journals and has contributed to a couple of books as well. Sir was chairman of the Undergraduate Council between 1997 and 1999 and of the Postgraduate Council between 2003 and 2005 at National Law School of India University, Bangalore. Sir was also a member of Karnataka State Higher Education Council between 2012 and 2016. Sir's area of specialization include constitutional law, administrative law, human rights law, law of elections, refugee and humanitarian law. A very warm welcome to you, sir. And now the session is over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that elaborate introduction. Dr. Mallikarjunaya, the President, KLE Law Academy, my good old friend from KLE, Professor Dinkar, who is the principal of this college in Mumbai, Amrita, who has been anchoring this event, the other learned faculty members of this college, the students, the participants from different legal education institutions, maybe university, maybe colleges, or whatever you are. A very good morning to everyone present here on this wonderful event, which is gaining importance day by day. I would like to just begin by saying that one among the essential functions of a state, I think by and large, many of you come from the 5-year law course. And as a feature of that, you would have done political science. And if you look at John Locke's contribution through the second treatise on civil government, in which he very clearly lays down that once the contract is complete and the state comes into picture, there is a new relationship that is created between the governor and the governed. And therefore, he earmarked two important essential functions of the state. One is the defense of the state. You have to defend yourself from aggression from your neighbor. That I think continues even after centuries of his contribution. Today we are guarding our borders. Every country is guarding its own borders. And therefore that becomes an essential function of the state. Whether you get money or not, but you have to guard yourselves. That's one among the essential functions. The second essential function is what we have forgotten. The first one we have not, but the second one, in many of the Western countries, they have implemented, so they have forgotten. And in India, we have not started off well, nor we have followed our tradition, and therefore we have failed utterly in the second essential function. You may be asking, what is the second essential function according to John Locke? I would rather say that he wanted to have the administration of justice as this second essential function. And he very clearly marks it by saying, if the state fails in performing this essential function of administration of justice, a conflict that might occur between and among the citizens of its own state, then they get back to the state of nature. That was the only inconvenience that they found, and they have surrendered the right only to enjoy the freedom of life, liberty, and property in the new state. And if the state is not able to protect these rights, resolve the conflict among the citizens, we will get back to the same state of nature where the inconveniences will continue. Therefore, whether we have taken lessons from this, I don't think we have to look at John Locke for this purpose. We have the ancient tradition, and everywhere it becomes, people laugh at us. When we say this, people sincerely laugh at us. In ancient India, we had this wisdom. I don't think we have to go to ancient India. Even prior to independence and immediately after independence, we had what you call it as panchayats all over the country. Whether it was governed by the British or governed by any king, right? Whether Muslim, Hindu, or Christian, whosoever it is, I think they had what you call it as the panchayat system, where the villagers will assemble. Not only the civil disputes, but also some sort of criminal disputes also they used to resolve amicably in such a manner that there was no need for fresh law and order situation emerging in that particular village. And this is what Gandhiji wanted to promote as Ram Rajya. And if you look at entry 5, if I remember right, of list 2 of the 7th schedule, local self-government has been given some prominence. But unfortunately, as you know, once we got independence, I am compelled to recollect what the Prime Minister of England said, though nobody likes it. India got freedom. Whether they will maintain it, we don't know. That's what he said. And rightly, in many fields, we have lost our freedom, right? One such area is that we are now legally active. For every issue, we are willing to go to different fora, courts, Human Rights Commission, RTI Commission, I think, what else? Anybody, we are willing to go at the fall of the hat. We don't have that patience, we don't develop that patience of interacting meaningfully with people, and therefore we have lost everything, or rather I would say, we have mortgaged everything to what we call it as modernity in an attempt to earn monetarily fame, money, position, whatever it is. Then I think we have lost our humanness in our approach. And therefore, and they say in business there is a cutthroat competition. But Gandhiji very clearly said, if there is no ethics in business, it is a crime, right? But I think we have forgotten all good values taught by our seniors, taught by our elderly statesman persons, but still we continue to behave like the ordinary normal human beings. At last, finally, some leveler has come, which is not appropriate to cite this, but still I will have to mention this. This COVID-19 pandemic has brought in, there is no rich, no poor, no intelligent, no muff. no teacher, no student. Everyone is equal because everyone suffered through this period, even if they have not contracted COVID virus uh, for themselves, their family members, and also their inability to go and interact because man is a social animal, right? And I really, feel very bad about the students, their parents, and relatives staying in small houses where they cannot even step out, even to buy certain norms, certain things, essentials. I think this 1 year has taught us little bit of humanism, and that I think is a new era. And I should thank coronavirus at least for that purpose, that it gave us a lesson. And it is not only coronavirus. Look at what has happened in Texas, in the US. Texas, which is known for its oil well reserves, natural resources, so on and so forth. They never saw even rains over years. Completely, it is covered with snow today, right? A thing that the people have not seen. Why you have to go to US and Texas? Just look at what happened in Uttarakhand recently, right? The flash floods. So these are all things which teach us time and again, which reminds us that we have to continue to remain as humans, and that human value is very, very important. Having said this, whether we have addressed this essential function of the state meaningfully or not, I would rather look at the Supreme Court website and put my head in shame, put my head down in shame, because you will see the statistics: 3.4 or 3.5 crores of cases which are pending in various courts in this country, starting from the lowest court to the Supreme Court of India. And I think it has become a fashion nowadays that you initiate a case, maybe your grandchildren will see the benefit of it, maybe, or may not be. And there are cases which are pending for more than 30, 40 years. I think we need to look at why is it happening. For the first, maybe the first reason is we as citizens, we have failed, right? As I told you, we have become legally conscious, morally weak. So for everything, we go to the court, right? I think when we are going to stop this, why we have to stop this, these are all $1,000,000 questions. I don't have the answer. These are all the areas on which we need to do research, right? And we have provided too many appeals, starting from the lowest court, right? And in Tamil Nadu, there is a very popular case in Kanchipuram. They used to have a temple elephant, right? And the issue was whether this elephant should have 3 lines horizontally or vertically, right? With the conflict between Shaivites and Vaishnavites. It has passed through every court and finally it has to go to the Supreme Court. Now, is it that important? Whether the animal knows about it, we don't know. But, these are all issues where on small issues, we are willing to create the problem, blow it out of proportion. And then comes the role of lawyers and the judges, right? If I'm very sorry to state, I think even if I state this, the lawyers will not like it. The lawyers who are supposed to facilitate as officers of the court, I think there are many lawyers who are promptly, openly telling us that they become the hurdles in the administration of justice, right? And similarly, the role played by the judges, they are also slaves of the procedure. And Professor Devidas used to say that in an attempt to give a procedure importance, we have forgotten substance as well, right? And therefore, the judges are not able to deliver judgments. And if you go to many of the high courts, you will see this morning session, it goes on only adjourning the cases from one day to another. When will they hear the cases? When will they decide? And when they will go on an appeal, we don't know. There are instances, if I tell you, it is a shame on our democracy. It has happened in Karnataka. I don't want to call the name of the candidate or the constituency. He was disqualified under the under the Representation of the People Act 1951. But, because he was disqualified, he has what you call it as subsisting disqualification for 6 more years. So he was sent to prison for 6 years. And then after his release, 6 more years, he was not permitted to enter the political fray. This is called as subsisting disqualification. 12 years. If you forget, I think Sashikala is another example. She was sentenced to 4 years imprisonment, and she has a subsisting disqualification for 6 more years. She cannot become elected representative at all. She may be a president of a party, but she cannot be elected. But this man went to the High Court on appeal. The High Court took 3 years or 4 years to decide the case. And then he went on an appeal. The Supreme Court admitted the appeal. And in the meantime, the government, the party which he belongs to, came to power, reduced his term from 6 years to 2 years. Right? By the time they completed, it was 6 years over. And then during that interregnum, he contested the election, saying that the petition is pending in the court, won the election, and again the case comes to the court. So we are going in circles for one small issue, a matter which can be decided in matter of days, not weeks. I think we are lacking the procedural as well as substantive implications of disposal of cases, and thereby you have many cases pending in the courts. The third important reason, as I see, is adjournments. Right? Though the CPC says not more than 3 adjournments, but I don't know, we are too good in interpretations. So we say 3 adjournments for the petitioner, 3 adjournments for the respondent, and 3 adjournments for the judges. And by the time the judge is transferred and the next judge comes, and again the 9 adjournments begin. I think ultimately technology is slowly coming to our rescue. Right? Today, I think High Court of Karnataka, if you take, or any other High Court, they have jurisdictional districts, and they can monitor the cases that are appearing in the districts, the disposal rate in the districts, by sitting in the capital, what do you call it, as headquarters of the High Court, and they can say, by and large, they can monitor. Right? If a subordinate judge is not willing to, if a judicial officer is not willing to dispose of the case within the limited period, they can call them and discipline them over a period of time. So things are slowly changing. So technology has ultimately come to our rescue, not humanness. Right? That is, human values have not come into the rescue. It is technology which has come into rescue. Now, having said this, around 6 years ago, National Law University Delhi started a state-of-the-art moot court hall after the former Chief Justice. At the inaugural function, I was also invited and I was asked to deliver a speech on that occasion. And I made an observation, people laughed at it. The observation I made was that with the technology coming to our rescue, it is possible for us to have the moot courts online, right? And if the NLU Delhi would like to take this seriously forward, we may also start this online moot court competition where the people need not travel from one state to another. The judges need not travel from one state to another. One judge may be in Delhi, another may be in Bombay, third one may be in Trivandrum. If you want a constitution bench, maybe one in Calcutta and one in Bhopal. Right? So you could possibly do this. And people said, no, sir, that is not going to happen. Right? Now, technology changed even more faster in the last, I think they say every 3 months technology changes. And therefore, even 3 months is too long a period. Now, technology is changing every week. Right? And AI coming into, artificial intelligence coming into, the applications coming into force, I think things around us changed thoroughly. And today, no law college which is worth the name can survive without, in those days we used to say, do you have computer lab, right? I am very happy to inform you, as I was the first one as the registrar to inaugurate the first computer lab at the National Law University in Bangalore. That was in 2019. I'm sorry. 2000, no, I'm sorry, just 1999, Justice Verma was the Chief Justice. So he came and inaugurated, and he asked the question, what is the use of these machines to law students? I sat before the computer and I tried to explain. Almost 40 minutes he was standing behind. Though the chair was offered, he was not willing to sit. He was just seeing what the transition taking place on my screen, computer screen. And he said, this is going to revolutionize legal education. That was his observation at the end of it. And when I became the registrar, I had to close down the computer lab. I was the first one to start and I was the first one to close, because in the 10 years, technology has changed. If you go to law school, every classroom will have laptops strewn all over the place. There was a fear that somebody will steal the laptop, but they can easily identify who was taken, right? So things, people also got educated, and you can today, if you go to any other classes, even in the law school, even the laptops have come down to a great extent, because what I can do through my laptop, the tablets have come into picture, and now I have my own small mobile phone through which I can transact any business I want, download any document I want, right? I can interact with the judges, right? Today online hearings are there, I can do that, right? So things have changed phenomenally, right? But let me tell you, though things have changed, the relationship between the teacher and the taught, the very physical presence is 90% of education, right? We may boast ourselves that technology has come to our rescue. Yes, it has come to our rescue. But let me tell you, the moment Corona goes out, right, maybe in the next few months, I'm not sure. If we behave very well, I think possibly next few months, by July, we may reopen our campuses. This technology will continue, right? Mixed mode of education and mixed mode of conference will continue to exist. And towards this, I would like to appreciate the efforts taken by the KLE group of institutions, Law Academy particularly, in organizing this online 2-day national online mediation competition, which is very, very crucial in the present day circumstances. Mediation can prevent the cases from going to the courts. So our single unique contribution is preventing the individuals from going to the already non-performing courts, right? Or underperforming. If I say non-performing, I may receive a notice. So underperforming judiciary. I think that is one among the important points that you as students, as participants in the competition should remember. And I would like to, appreciate the efforts taken by the law college in creating this atmosphere for this competition to come online. Now, I can go on speak for hours on this issue. That is not my intention. I know the mentality of the students, so I will not take much of your time. But I'll be failing in my duty if I don't make a mention about the Nyaya Panchayats, which we had, right? And we have buried them. And today, the Union Parliament has passed Gram Nyayalayas Act. This mediation platform possibly can be percolated down to these smaller districts, smaller rural areas, where it is possible for them to use this Gram Nyayalaya Act to resolve the disputes. And I think we should take the students to those rural areas in inculcating some values, in preventing the disputes to go beyond the territorial limits of a village. And if we do it, I think we have done something significant. Don't think that if you become a lawyer, your job will be off. Don't think like that. If lawyering is not available, there is umpteen number of other jobs available. But you would be contributing significantly to the community in which you are living. The present Chief Justice of India, Justice Bobde, had sent all the law schools, law universities a letter almost a year back, the moment he took over as the Chief Justice of India. He has sent a letter requesting all the universities, law universities, to teach mediation as a compulsory course, to teach or organize master's degree level mediation, right, as a course, and inculcate these values among the youngsters coming from these law schools. Taking the clue, the Vice Chancellor of Maharashtra National Law University has even started a 2-year course on mediation, master's degree in mediation. It is not called as LLM because mediation itself is a multidisciplinary, subject matter. It is not legal, right? Psychology may be involved in it, right? So therefore, we are now trying to see not simply as a law in its exclusivity, but law in the light of various other disciplines, drawing strength from each and every discipline with the ultimate object of preventing or settling the disputes at the first level, very first level. And there begins what you call it as the positive impact of mediation. Of course, as students of law, you all know that the Parliament amended the CPC way back in 1989, right? Amending and introducing a provision for alternate dispute resolution, all the 4 of them, including Lok Adalat. But it is more than 30 years. If you look around, what is the development? So making a law is something different, and seeing it implemented in a country like ours is something a great difficulty. And this effort taken by the law schools, particularly the KLE Law College in Mumbai, possibly will be a very good revolution towards making the students understand the importance of mediation. And you are doing it not necessarily within the state of Maharashtra. There are participants coming from various, participating from various parts of the country, and they will also take this lesson to some extent to spread the message of mediation, the fruits of mediation which could be achieved in the years to come. Finally, before I conclude, I would like to address the participants who are the main stakeholders today. I would appreciate and welcome all the participating institutions and the students who have taken keen interest in participating in this competition. You have 2 important roles to play. One is you have to participate in the spirit of competition, right? Which means you have to give your best. Give your best. What does it mean? Assuming that I participate as a team with another colleague of mine, lose the competition in the first round. Please do not log out of the competition platform. Because if you log out, you will be missing out on the second point which I am trying to explain. The second point is, if you continue to listen to other participants, it is a process of learning. You will understand where you have gone wrong, what is your weakness, how to strengthen, how to overcome this. It is a continuous learning that can make you a better individual in the next online competition. Maybe in the next week, we don't know, because many of them are offering this. So please participate in the spirit of competition so that you bring your best, right? And number 2, continue to stay on the platform, the online platform, till the valedictory function is over, so that you can learn from the participants and improve yourself in the months to come or till you complete your course and thereafter as well. The second aspect is, it is participation that is important. Winning is only an implication, right? Sometimes the best team may not win because they have to face somebody else in the preliminary round, right? Maybe they will reach finals, but they may not still win the competition. It's all, winning is not the objective, right? But if winning is not there in your mind, you will not give your best. So you have to have a harmonious blend of the ability to participate in the competitive mode and also willing to accept the defeat majestically and appreciate the team. There may be certain issues relating to judging. There may be certain issues, 0.5 this way, 0.5 mark that way. All these things are part and parcel of the game. And you take everything as it comes, improve yourself. And if that is possible, you will get winning as a bonus. Participation is a learning. And if you are able to learn and get a bonus, wonderful. And I wish each and every team participating all the very best in this competition. And I thank the KLE Law Academy for inviting me to share my thoughts on this occasion. Once again, my congratulations to the KLE Law Academy and my best wishes to the students of various institutions participating at the competition. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
sir,
sir.
for sharing your expert thoughts and experiences. And we are blessed to hear you. Indeed, technology has come to our rescue. And sir, I would just like to humbly inform that under the able leadership of our principal, sir, in the last November, we had organized an online national law fest where we had 8 different competitions that were held online. And they were trial advocacy, parliamentary debate, roundtable conference, arbitration award writing, judgment writing, PIL drafting. And so in the coming April, we are going to organize our first online national moot court competition. And with your blessings, we are all sure that we'll be having a good competition there as well. Thank you so much, sir, for giving us your expert thoughts, sir. I would now like to request Dr. Mallikarjunaiah, sir, for the presidential address. But before that, it is my privilege to introduce sir to the audience. Dr. Mallikarjunaiah, sir, is the director of KLE Law Academy, Belagavi, and principal KLE Law College, Bengaluru. He is the president of today's inaugural ceremony, and so has completed his BA and B.Ed from Gulbarga University. So also completed his LLB from Gulbarga University, for which sir received special award for securing highest marks. So pursued his LLM from Karnataka University, Dharwad, in which sir secured 2nd rank. Sir did his PhD under the guidance of Dr. K. Ethal from Karnataka University, Dharwad. Sir has delivered several guest lectures at various law colleges, including National Law School of India, University, Bangalore, and participated and presented several papers on law topics at various national and international conferences, symposiums, seminars, etc. A very warm welcome, Dr. Mallikarjunaiah, sir. The session is over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Amrita.
Thank you, sir.
Beloved professor of all of us and the great well-wisher of KLE family always. On behalf of KLE Society and KLE Law Academy, I express my deep sense of gratitude to you, sir, for being amidst us this day and giving us the valuable opening remarks on this mediation competition. And when Amrita started, I was very happy that she made reference to, she tried to compare mediation and arbitration, and I'm not able to borrow the same language that she used with the comparison of a pound of flesh. Anyway, that emphasized the importance of mediation over arbitration to me. And I was also recalling when she said, conflicts are inevitable, combats can be avoided. That was all what I learned during my LLM days when I started studying resolution of industrial conflicts. My professor was very emphatically arguing and suggested disputes are endemic in nature and you cannot avoid them. Disputes exist in a well-knit family where maternal, paternal, fraternal relations exist. That being the case, disputes are going to be all over. Maybe in this context, Professor Goddard from the West said, disputes are endemic in nature and except at graveyard, they are there everywhere. With all humility, I would like to suggest Professor Goddard was wrong. Had he seen our communities, he would have said there are disputes at graveyard too. That is the nature of disputes and conflicts in society. And taking clue from the uh, achievement that we have done through the regular court system and the tribunalization, from the words of Vijay Kumar sir, I understand not much has been done. Often the compulsory education has served the counter purpose, though not always. At least it is the time we go back to our ancient wisdom, and that is where the lessons of mediation are recalled. And I strongly believe, for in light of the experience Professor Vijay Kumar sir has placed before us, and in light of experience of what we see today, and also in light of the backlog of cases before the courts, I believe the panacea for this problem is not in courts and tribunalization. The panacea, I think, lies in mediation. And mediation can be the panacea, I believe. Of course, one last observation I would like to make on this occasion, of course, in front of constitutional expert in India. I'm so sorry, and with all humility, I would like to suggest, sir, often I feel, especially the apex courts, have started using the enabling provision article 142 in preference to rule of law. That is a very shocking and disturbing feature for me with my limited experience of how the courts are deciding. So if the courts can always and readily and in preference to rule of law invoke 142, it's better we go back to mediation as the first method of resolution of industrial disputes. And for these reasons, I strongly believe mediation is the panacea, and mediation has got a great role to play in Indian system of dispensation of justice, I believe. And it's only appropriate, timely, and of great importance that today we organize this event from Keli Society's Law College from Mumbai. I congratulate and thank all my colleagues, Principal Gite at Mumbai Law College, and last but not the least, as Vijay Kumar sir has said, if success has some lessons to teach, your experience, often we learn, and we have got to learn from the mistakes of others. We need not burn our own hand to learn the lessons. That being the case, I, at the outset, congratulate all participants in this event for having decided to take part, and appeal to all of you to be there throughout the competition to take the lessons in whatever capacity, as a success or as a winner or as a participant at whatever level. I think with these words on this occasion, I thank once again Professor Vijay Kumar sir. It was nice hearing you after a long time indeed. And I thank the organizers for the opportunity. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you so much, sir, for the presidential address and your blessings for all of us. I would now like to request our student, Shama Musa, to kindly propose the vote of thanks.
Madam, before that, I
Yes,
have
sir.
one request
Sure,
to
sir.
Dr. V. Vijay Kumar sir, who is Vice Chancellor. Sir, we would like to request on behalf of KLE Law Academy and KLE Law College, especially Mumbai, we may have a memorandum so that we may benefit from the institute, like reputed institute of US, where we can have a student exchange and teacher exchange program, so that these are the traditional universities, sir. I mean, the students will get benefited in a very possible manner. So it's my request, sir. Maybe we may work out on that. And in that case, I would like to specially come and meet you in Bhopal, sir.
Certainly, not an issue. Not an issue. Take it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I don't know, Amrita, sorry, I'll take one more minute. I don't know, sir, if you remember, I visited National Law School in 1994 as a visiting student, and you were the coordinator of that program. You were responsible, in fact, to introduce me to National Law School forum itself in 1994. Thank you.
And also the MOU between NLS and KLE.
Yes, indeed, indeed, sir. Thank you. Yeah, that
Thank you,
was
sir.
your registrar, correct.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Shama, you can propose the vote of
Yeah,
thanks.
thank you, ma'am. A lovely and warm morning to our most valued and worthy guest, management committee, respected teachers, and beloved participants. It's a matter of pride for me that I am proposing a vote of thanks on behalf of this esteemed institution, KLE Society, KLE College of Law, Navi Mumbai. I extend a profound vote of thanks to our valued chief guest, Professor Dr. V. Vijay Kumar, sir, Vice Chancellor, NLIU, Bhopal, and President Professor Dr. Mallikarjun Iyer, sir, Principal, KLE Law College, Bangalore, and Director, KLE Law Academy, Belgavi, who spare time from their busiest schedule for gracing us with their presence and sharing their knowledge and educating us with their graceful words. I'm sure all the participants of this meeting are inspired by your highly sparkling words. I also take this opportunity to especially express my deep regards and gratitude to the respected members of KLE management. Dr. Prabhakar Kore sir, Chairman of KLE Society, Sir Shri Mahantesh Kavadivat sir, Governing Body Chairman, KLE College of Law, MLC, and Chief with Government of Karnataka for their enormous support, blessings, and guidance. And I must remark a proficient sense of gratefulness to our respected principal, Sir Professor Dinkan Kitte, sir, for setting high expectations for our students and educators. We are forever grateful for impact on this college, sir. I am also immensely thankful and mention my deep sense of appreciation to our teachers, my fellow conveners, and entire team for their support. Finally, I would like to place my hearty thanks to all our valued participants for attending this inaugural session. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shama. I would now like to request our principal to sir to formally open the mediation competition event.
I declare the National Mediation Online Competition to be open. Thank you.
Good. All the
Thank
very
you so much, sir, for sparing your time and coming to deliver a lecture here. Thank you so much. Thank you
Sir,
so
thank
much,
you,
sir.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. In Bangalore, sir. Thank you all and wish you all the very best.
Thank you
sir.
so much,
Thank
sir.
you. Have a nice day.